Everything, everything gonna be all right this morning.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, off to the races. Another episode for the archives. It's me speaking to you, Jeffrey Wilson, coming to you live, maybe not live, but direct. And I'm really, really stoked to have our guest today, taking a little slice out of her very busy schedule. And we're going to talk about all that she's into. She's the El Jefe over there at Yabba Dabbas House of Glass, and she's got a really, really cool concert coming up June 28th and 29th at the Rust Belt in Moline, Illinois. We're going to talk all about it. Heather Dabbas is with us today. What's up, girl?
Nothing. What's going on?
Not too much. Not too much. I appreciate you taking the time, my friend. I have to ask because you're like I said, you're very busy and you have a lot on your plate. Successful business owner, parent, etc. I love a good origin story, and we all love a good origin story here on the show. How did you get started into the business of Yabba Dabbas House of Glass and how it's been growing? Multiple locations?
Yeah, got into it in 2015, went to Colorado shortly after they legalized. I had done a lot of research in medical marijuana for my daughter, and we never moved to Colorado, but we visited after legalization and decided that we should get more involved in our area and actually started buying and selling pipes over eBay, which I'm not really sure you're supposed to. I don't know. But at that point, things were a lot different. The profit margins were crazy, and it just seemed like it would be a great idea to have an actual store. I'm from this area, and I knew there weren't a lot currently, and so I kind of thought as we would go through the steps and we'd get to a point and be like, oh, well, that's why there's not really anything happening right now. But we never got to that point, and everything just worked out. Next thing you know, we had store number one.
In the Quad Cities, how many locations do you have now?
3 currently.
So that's one in Davenport, Iowa, one in Bettendorf, and one in Moline or Rock Island? Okay, cool.
Moline. I did have a Rock Island store, but right now I'm using that as my corporate office.
Their corporate office. Listen to her. She's moving on up, man. Well, and you know, we've talked about this before, and shout out to my man Justin Holstein. And I think we should still dust it off at some point in time, like a little kind of docu-series on your life. You live a very interesting life, like I said, successful business owner, mother, and it's just you have a lot on your plate. But you know, things were pretty rocky. You didn't just start this by yourself. Talk to us a little bit about the young man who you started this with, and kind of how things played out.
Yeah, when we started the shops, I was married. My husband and I had been married since 2008. We opened in 2015. He worked it for the first month until I quit my job. Over the years, as we grew, we started having some nanny issues. I took a back seat, and then when I wasn't around, he unfortunately fell victim to the opioid epidemic. Almost destroyed our businesses. I ended up suing him as my business partner and was awarded sole control of the shops February of 2018, and so they've been just mine since that time.
So, as they say, without struggle, there is no progress, and that's a really hefty thing to have to go through. Obviously, anytime you lose a loved one, but losing, your partner in life, your husband, as you guys were going into this business venture. And again, for me, that's why I just got so much love for you and so much respect. It's a testament for, your fortitude, your hard work, your perseverance, your love for your family. Obviously, you've kept your family together and the kids. It's all beautiful, man. It's all a very beautiful thing. And, when we worked on that kind of docu-series, I was saying, that you kind of, for me, it was just like you're the modern day, 21st century American dream, single mother, successful business owner, living her best life. Anyway, big fan of yours, man. Big fan.
Thank you.
And so that is kind of, and that's another part of our journey during this kind of docu-series. We went up to it was a few years now, the Champs weed show, basically in Las Vegas. And
yes.
And Heather's just a star there, just took the place over. I forget the gentleman's name who owns the papers. I forget what his name is, but he had like 100-yard long line, and Heather just walked up like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" And he's like, "Heather!"
Oh, Josh Kesselman that owns Raw.
There you go. It was just awesome watching you, do your thing and just locking it down, man. You had the whole scene locked down. It was awesome.
It's the hair, because everybody remembers me, honestly. It works out.
Well, yeah, and if I didn't happen to mention, guys, she happens to be drop dead gorgeous too. So this adds to the whole marquee value and the cachet she brings to the table. And, again, you're just keeping it busy, man. Many stakes in the fire. I see you just dropped a new beer. Lay it on me. Where'd this come from?
Yes, Bent River and I have partnered a handful of times. They do a lager with my name on it. We've got a new cherry limeade that has my name on it, as well as a festival beer, all done locally.
She can't stop, won't stop, man. It's just awesome. I can't wait to, yeah. And so which, the one I saw you had, it was like maybe a cider or what was that one? I think you posted.
A sour.
Okay. I love it. I absolutely love it, man.
It's actually delicious. A lot of the local restaurants and bars that I deal with and know throughout the years of being from this area have picked it up. So that's been really cool. Wow.
Where do you find the time, man? Where do you find that? And again, you, like any business, and I talk about this with a lot of people. I mean, the success of most businesses, you obviously, this is your baby, but you haven't done this by yourself. And the assembly of the right team is so crucial to a success of a business. Is that accurate?
Yes, it absolutely is. I mean, if I had more time and more people, I have no lack of ideas. But I have a great team behind me for us to be able to work together. And we've done, with this festival, we've done everything in such a short period of time, and we just, somehow we pull through time and time again. And honestly, I couldn't do it without them.
Well, and she's a natural, ladies and gentlemen. She just segued quite beautifully and seamlessly into the next subject and her next venture, which she's teaming up with Tree0nine, which is a kind of play on words for Illinois, having the area code 309, to bring together, some hitters, some local cats, and, some heavy hitters as well, laying on us. What's going down June 28th and 29th at the Rust Belt? And how did it come together, too? We were talking off air. There's, how did it all come together?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, I meet Larry Anderson, who is part owner of the Rust Belt, and we became friends. I sponsored a couple winter concert series at the Rust Belt. But when we originally met, he brought up wanting to do a cannabis festival. And I had told him I'd been really wanting to do a reggae festival because I feel like reggae is very underrepresented in our area. And it turned into what we have now, the Tree0nine Cannabis and Music Festival. It's not as much reggae as I would love. I'm hoping over the years we get some more there. But the lineup, everything worked out. It's going to have high energy. And I think it's going to be a great time.
We'll talk about who you got coming, man. You got some hitters, right? Headlining Waka Flocka Flame, am I correct?
Yes. Waka, Chromeo, Girl Talk, Pimps of Joy Time. We've got Sir Woman, Tropodelic, if I didn't already say that, Chris Lager Band. We have 16 bands over the 2 days.
It'll be dope, man. And I will add, obviously, the description the link in the description if you guys want to, if you happen to be in the quad, or even if you're not, man, come check out. This is the first, well, you said you've worked with these guys before, but is this one of your very first kind of Heather Dabbas, Yabba Dabbas sponsored events?
Yeah, so this is the first festival I've ever done. I've worked with my team. They've worked for my company for a while. Gary's been with the team for, since 2015.
Big ups to Gary. Big ups to Gary.
History. My right hand, honestly, it plays a big part behind the scenes of everything that I do.
Absolutely.
So I've got the experience of having already worked with my team on that, but this is the first festival I've ever done. And I've planned it all. We named it. We picked the bands. We were a little late to the start. I wish we could have booked the bands earlier, but we weren't allowed to release our lineup until April 1st this year, which means we couldn't get vendors or sponsors or sell tickets. You don't have a lineup, you can't pitch it to anybody.
Right.
So everything that's happening at this festival has started since April 1st to now. And at this point, we've got a stage being built outside. We've got the indoor stage, over 40 vendors showcasing products from the industry, 3 major cultivators going to be there. Terrace Dispensary is the official dispensary of the festival, and they'll have stuff set up, as well as the Sesh Bus Mobile Smoking Lounge. Colorado Bongathon's going to be there doing a fastest gram contest. Food trucks, live glass blowing,
wow.
It's going to be amazing.
That's sick, man. That's really cool, man. I'm glad you did this. It's so crazy how there's a lot of, Missouri just became legal, and I've been kind of interviewing and talking to people about different maybe gigs in the industry, and it's so wild how quickly it has changed, man. I remember especially like Illinois, if you got pinched with like a seed, you were going to jail. Like Illinois did not fuck around for a large part of the time, and it's just like now it's wide open to the point where you guys glass blowing. It's a full-on sponsored cannabis event in Illinois, man. I love it. I think it's dope as hell.
It's great the way everything's evolved. Like,
absolutely.
It's great.
Well, and as I've, not to get too sidetracked on it, but like the cannabis industry, man, I know it's been regulated in the stigma of it just being like kind of CBD and THC and the psychoactive side of it. What the science is now able to learn about, cannabinoids and terpenes, I mean, it's next level. Some of the medical and therapeutic applications for some of these chemicals, just absolutely next level. So it's cool. Like through this legalization, we have a better understanding, which hopefully removes this, this stigma of it just being whatever, just in your basement blowing weed and shit, which of course you can do that too. But, this gift called cannabis we've been given, it's thankful that people like you and just, festivals like this, just more awareness to it. But as you said,
let's get rid of the stereotype of your typical stoner.
For real. Because
we all have jobs.
And, as we're talking to young Heather Dabbas here, she's really good at it. And she's not sitting on her couch all day. You don't get to do what the hell she does in a day, just being lunched out. And as you said, you have a bright future ahead. You're looking at more festivals. And like you said, with the assembly of your team, you have no shortage of ideas. What's next for you, whether, kind of theoretically right now or anything on paper? What's next for Heather Dabbas?
Oh, gosh, it's really hard to say. I plan and I have dreams, but you never know where life's going to take you. 3 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be planning a cannabis festival right now. I'd love to get in the dispensary game, maybe distribution. I love this industry because everybody gets to be who they are, and everybody in the industry is so accepting of it. If you want to come out with a new product and tell people why it's great, like you can do that. Nobody stops you here.
Right. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. I can't thank you enough for all you're doing. And, as a friend of yours, I just just tip of the cap to your success. You're just an awesome human being, in my opinion. Great mother, successful business owner, supporting local businesses as well. And I think that's a big deal, man. That's a big deal. So big ups to you, girl.
Thank you.
And so where can we reach out, find out what you're up to? Any social networking websites, etc., that I will add into the description?
We've got Instagram accounts for the festival as well as the shop. I have a personal one that I do more of my personal things on, as well as Facebook. We've got Tree0nine.com is going to have all of the festival updates on it, as well as that Facebook page. That's about it.
Sweet. And I thank you so much, man. I know you're busy, and so taking a little slice out of your time, I really appreciate it.
Awesome. It was great talking to you.
Absolutely, man. Be there, man, or be square June 28th and 29th at the Rust Belt in East Moline. It's going to be epic, and there will be more to come from this young lady as she cannot stop crushing it. Peace and so much love, guys. You know what it is. There will always be more. Holla.